Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
One prayer to Krishna.
Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Vinaya. Thank you.
Throat problem is there, so.
No, don't worry about it. So, Anu, were you there for the last class? You weren't.
No, I wasn't there.
Okay.
So
before the others come, shall we quickly go through what we did the last time? Even because
sure.
I don't know if this one was there. Sneha also was absent, Alva.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do a revision of the previous thing.
Sure.
So we started with so Arjuna asked Sita Pragyasa kya ka bhasha, right? Oh, you're still here. Yeah, we hadn't discussed this particular shloka. Can you chant, Sneha, or shall we chant? Shall I chant first?
I can try to
Arjuna
chant.
uvacha sthita pragyasya bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. Yes.
You want me to chant?
Yes.
Okay. Arjuna uvacha sthita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadihi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim.
Yes. You want to go, Anu?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Vinaya, if you want to chant, go ahead.
Arjuna Uvacha Sthita Prajnasya Ka Bhasha Samadhistasya Keshava
Sthitadhihi kim prabhasheta.
Sthitadhi Kim Prabhasheta Kim
Asita vrajeta kim.
Asita Vrajeta Kim.
Very good. Okay. So what is being said here is Arjuna is asking a very basic question. All of us have this question, right? How is it being enlightened? Isn't it? Do we have that question or no? Arjuna says, O Keshava, what is the disposition of the one who is situated in divine consciousness? How does an enlightened person talk? How does he sit? How does he walk? Samadhi, how is the one who is in Samadhi all the time? Samadhi literally means the one who has in complete Samadhana. The one who is completely, equanimity. He's in complete equanimity all the time. That is what enlightenment is all about. Not to be disturbed by the ups and downs of life, right? So all the time, this enlightened one is in Samadhi. So, ka bhasha means I mean, ಏನ್ ಸಮಾಚಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಲ್ವಾ? How ಏನಿದು? What is this enlightened being all about? Ka bhasha means bhasha includes everything, the personality of the enlightened being. So sthita prajna, what is his how does he behave basically? Prabhasheta, how does he walk and talk about? Kim asita, how does he sit? Kim vrajeta, how does he walk? How does he talk? So the questions are very literal. How does he walk, talk, speak?
Have to prepare breakfast for box for Raina. That is later.
Padmaja is here. Hari
Sorry.
Om. So Padmaja, we are doing a quick revision of the previous one because Neha and Anu were not here. So this question is all about how does an enlightened person behave? Any ideas, Anu and Sneha? Do you have any ideas of how this person walks, talks, speaks? How does he sit? Number one question: why do we need to know that in the first place? Do we need to know it at all?
Definitely yes, but I can't crystallize and tell you why.
Okay. You want to have a go at it, Anu?
Yes, we want to know, but again, how exact that identification happens when a person is realized or sthita prajna, it's kind of difficult to identify because when we are living in this worldly things, how do we identify? Is
Okay.
But I know one thing, that they are not perturbed at all.
They are not perturbed.
Yeah, they are just they are not over excited about anything. They are not depressed. Any situation.
Yeah.
They are like that, and they can see the reality. I feel they can respond to a situation well. They can take take the next step forward, the right step forward.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, Jayashree. Jayashree, you're
Hari
saying?
Om Purnima. Hari
Hari.
Om friends.
Hello.
ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ. I'm just joining in now. Good morning.
All right. Good morning. So, yeah, that's what Arjuna is asking about the Sthita Prajna Lakshana. Actually, the question he's really asking is not the outer behavior of the Gnani. It's rather more about how is the Gnani established inside. See, on the face of it, the Gnani can look like you or me, wear the same clothes, sit on the same chair. It's not about that, right? It's about how he is really established in equanimity inside. So that is the whole point. How not to lose your equanimity at all points of time. That is the question Arjuna is asking. How does he interact with the world even as he is in samadhi? See, that's the challenge here. We get carried away when we are interacting with the world, basically, right? But and we forget all the teachings. A little provocation, and we are very quick to forget our state of. I mean, all the jnana that we get in the Vedanta class, it's gone like that. But that's not so for a gnani. Always established in equanimity. So, how does the gnani do that? Is what Arjuna wants to know. How is an always? It is not the wisdom doesn't come and go in flashes. The wisdom is a steady wisdom. That is the meaning of a sthita prajna, the one who is in steady wisdom. And so, how is he established in truth? Is what Arjuna is asking. So here the answer comes from Bhagavan, which is very, very beautiful. So he says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Let me share this sloka for us. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. So the rest of the second chapter is about the Sthita Prajna Lakshana. And remember, the God himself is telling all this. So let us pay a lot of attention to it. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnasya duchyate. Yes, someone can take a shot at this.
Okay, I will try to chant. I'm not very familiar with this.
Never mind. Yes.
श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रजहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थमनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदुच्यते.
Excellent. Perfect. Anyone else?
Shri Bhagavanuvāca प्रजाहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थामनोगतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदुच्यते.
Yes. Padmaja, you want to go at it? The more we listen, the more it will go inside us. That's the idea. Yes. Prajahati yada kaman. Oh, your connectivity is... yes. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha sthita prajnasya uchyate. Padmaja, your connectivity is dicey. Yeah, now you seem to be okay.
Is it okay
Shall I,
now?
Purnima?
Yeah, please. Padmaja, you relax.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Jayashree. Shall I means who said shall I? Okay. So the Supreme Lord said, Heltya, Jayashree?
Heltini.
Hel.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanevatmana tushtaha sthita pragnas tada tadochyate.
Correct.
Okay.
Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan atmanyevatmana tushtaha prajnastaduchyate. Yes. So the Supreme Lord said, O Partha, when one discards all selfish desires and cravings of the senses that torment the mind and becomes satisfied in the realization of the self, such a person is said to be transcendently situated. Shweta, welcome. So we have gone to the next shloka, which is Bhagwan's reply to Krishna's, Arjuna's question. Okay. So now here there are few very critical sentences or phrases. Atmanye vatmana tushtaha. One who revels in his own being. That's the key in this shloka. That's a very famous phrase, and that's the key. Now, please share your understandings on this shloka. Otherwise, it will become I'll just go on talking. Padmaja, you have done some homework on this, all of us.
I don't know. How is the connectivity now?
Yes, it is much better.
Okay. So I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Okay. So the meaning is the translation we have already done. The Supreme Lord says, O Partha, when one discards all selfish desires and cravings of the senses that torment the mind and becomes satisfied in the realization of the self, such a person is said to be transcendently situated.
Correct.
So here, we have to know that each fragment is naturally drawn towards its whole. So just as a piece of stone is drawn by the force of the gravitation towards the earth. If you throw it up, it will come down because of the gravitational force. The individual soul is a fragment of God who is infinite bliss.
Okay.
Tries to release the bliss of the soul from God. It is called divine love. However, when in ignorance, it considers itself as a body, mind, or intellect. It runs behind these material pleasures.
Correct.
Maya creates an illusion of happiness in the hope of quenching the thirst of our senses.
Correct.
How much ever we try, happiness keeps fading further away from us when we run behind these material pleasures.
Yeah.
Once we get this self-realization with our purified mind, we attach ourselves to higher consciousness. So there's one important the Garuda Purana which states that Chakradharo pi suratvam surat vallabhe sakala surapatitvam bhavitvirum surapatirur dvagatitvam tathapi nani vartate trishna. This means a king wishes to be an emperor of the whole world. The emperor aspires to be a celestial god. A celestial god seeks to be Indra, the king of heaven. And Indra desires to be Brahma, the creator.
Correct.
Yet the thirst for material enjoyment doesn't get satisfied.
Yeah.
But when one learns to turn the mind away from material allurements and renounces the desires of the senses, such a person comes in touch with the inner bliss of the soul and becomes transcendently situated. Kathopanishada goes to the extent of saying that one who has renounced desires becomes like God.
Wow. Very nice. Thank you, Padmaja.
Thank you.
Renouncement of desires is the central teaching of this particular shloka. Anybody else? Shweta, you want to go?
I think pretty much, I think Padmaja covered most of it. So,
Okay. All right. So let us dig into this shloka. Now, I want all of us to define for ourselves what is happiness according to you. All of us have to answer. According to me, what is happiness? According to you, all of us. Yes, let us start from whoever window I see on my screen. I'm going to call them out. Sneha, define happiness.
According to me, it is being content.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Works. Yeah. All right. Anu?
Being in bliss, being something which makes me happy at the same time, having that contentment, like how Sneha said.
Okay. Jayashree?
When things go my way, to tell you the truth, I feel very happy.
Right.
Correct. Right?
Yeah.
And as they said, inner contentment and happiness comes just within me. I feel blissful when I'm peaceful.
Correct. Okay, great. Padmaja?
I think for me, happiness is doing whatever you do, you find happiness. Whether the situation is in my favor or not in my favor, I still find some happiness there.
Wonderful. You're a Sita Prajna.
But still, I feel that maybe something is there for me, even if the situation is not right. Maybe
Correct.
something else is there. God is trying to teach me. I need to learn something else. So,
Okay.
no point in feeling very bad about that. Maybe I'll feel bad. Still, I'll say it's okay. Leave it. So I'll leave it.
Very good, Vinaya. Very good, Padmaja. I mean, it's a very mature way of looking at life. And Vinaya?
being peaceful.
Yeah.
And that's main thing for me. And not having anxiety.
Correct.
And able to have a like
Samatvam. Correct.
Samatvam, samadrishti towards all everyone. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes we may don't have that. So if I get that samadrishti bhava, I'm happy.
Okay.
Samatvam, that is also.
Samatvam yogam uchyate. You know, that was also said by the Lord.
So,
maintaining equanimity is yoga. Yoga is happiness. Yeah.
So I do yoga for that. So that gives me happiness. Lots of happiness. If I miss one day, it's gone.
Oh, you mean you do physical yoga?
Yes. and
Oh,
meditation. So
okay.
some days I'll be lazy when I miss that.
That
There is
yoga is fine. That is for the body, of course, which affects the mind also. But
Okay.
here, yoga in the Gita is not spoken about as a physical level, right?
Yes.
Isn't it,
But
Vinaya?
even ma'am, when we do the asanas and then do the pranayama, it helps.
Correct.
That
Correct.
whole day is different from the day
Huh.
when we miss the yoga practice and abhyasa meditation. It gives a special kind of energy, and we can feel that samatvam, and there is difference, ma'am. The
Yeah,
same.
it is different. But even without, see, I cannot do yoga right now. So even despite that, I should be able to be in yoga. Yoga, in the sense, is a union with that God, isn't it? General definition of yoga is to be always connected to God,
Yes.
irrespective of whether I miss yoga class or not. So that is the kind of
Yes,
yoga.
ma'am. At
I mean,
time,
it's fantastic. I'm not saying don't go for yoga class. Please go. The thing is, that is fine. That's a tool. Most definitely, yes, it is. But
and
how can
what
we
it
make
is
a
doing is mantra chanting, ma'am. Hare Rama in the musical, even that is a kind of pranayama. So
correct, correct.
Hare Rama chanting, that itself is a powerful tool.
Very correct, very correct. That's why all the tools have been given by God in the Bhagavad Gita. He says about Dhyana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, all yogas are covered in order to reach God. Wonderful, Vinaya. I'm glad you're taking so many things. You're implementing all the things that the Lord has said already.
On lazy days, ma'am, obviously prayer only.
Prayer, is it?
Already when we wake up, we'll be saying this Karagre Vasade Lakshmi Karamadhi Saraswati Karamulitu Govinda Prabhati Karadarshanam, and then rub the palms onto our face.
Correct.
Oh, it gives a different feel. It is touching our energy body, and
yes,
unknowingly we are doing good to our body.
correct. That is the culture has given us that blessing, our culture. No?
Then after that, Samudravasine Devi, I'm going off the topic, but still, ma'am, we'll
Yeah,
like to
please. Yeah.
Samudravasine Devi Parvadasana Mandale Vishnu Patni Namastabhim Padaspatashanasana. It actually balances our biomagnetic field of the body with the Earth's gravitational force. So when we take that, only 10 seconds it takes, ma'am. There is such a difference.
Very good.
Impacts our whole day.
Nice. Very good. Wow.
You.
Thank you, Vinaya. Shweta, you want to define happiness?
For me, I think happiness is a state of mind, right? It's like happiness is something. It is an emotion for sure, but practicing happiness would be how do you control your environment and what you do, like what I think Padmaja said, right? She tries to find happiness in everything she does, irrespective of what is in there for her or not. I think it's an attitude at the end of the day. I think that is huge for me, and I try my best to practice that. It's like controlling your sugar level, right? It shouldn't go too much up or too high. What goes up comes down. So it's like maintaining your glycemic index. It's maintaining your thought process, being mindful and being present. And at the end of the day, it is a state of mind. What you maintain is what happiness is for me.
Yes, Shweta, I think you have, echoed all our feelings of all of us. Indra, you want to pitch in? What is happiness according to you?
Yes, Purnimaji. Always happiness, I feel it is only dependent on me. I don't tell my happiness depends on others. What they do, it doesn't affect me. So the happiness is, I take up the full responsibility to be happy.
Excellent point.
In the beginning, like before, it used to be like always it is spending time with whatever makes me calm is happiness. Whatever makes me calm and peace is happiness. So it's always spending time with family and little friends also, and shopping. Whenever I feel something, I get something. If I get that, that is a bliss. That happiness is totally different.
Yeah.
And now recent days, it is the prayer, connecting with God, and listening to Prabhuji's talks and these classes. Before it was one class a week. Now it has become 2 classes a week with you. So this is happiness for me now.
Wow. So well said. Chandra, you want to just listen or you want to add? What is happiness is the question, Chandra. According to you, what makes you happy?
Actually, happiness is what when I was with the nature, so ಆ ಮರಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಆಗ ಈ ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದು ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಅಡ್ಮೈರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನನಗೊಂಥರ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಕೊಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್.
ಆಯ್ತು.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅದು ಇವರು ಇಂದ್ರ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ಅಸ್. It depends on me that how I take the situations and the surroundings. So I cannot blame others for my happiness. It is me how I take the situation.
Correct.
So that's what I feel.
Very good. Very correct. ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು correct. So all of us have defined what is happiness according to our own. So now I will just share what the Taittiriya Upanishad says about happiness. Okay, the Taittiriya Upanishad, it has something called the Ananda Mimamsa. It's when a portion of the Taittiriya Upanishad has got something. Ananda Mimamsa means it's a calculus of happiness. Okay, so in that it says happiness is something, it's a Vishaya Indriya Sanyoga. That is when the senses come in contact with an object, that produces happiness. The object need not be gross, like a movie, watching a movie, or possessing an object, or whatever, buying a house or whatever. That happiness we all know. When we go shopping, as someone said, when I do some shopping, I feel happy. That is Vishaya Indriya Sanyoga, isn't it? When the object comes into contact with our senses, when the senses see an object and you possess what you like, that gives you happiness. So for this, Vishaya Indriya Sanyoga, one has to be, I think all of us here mentioned things which kind of lies outside us. Not all the time, but somehow our inner happiness depends on the situations outside. Some of us, yes, already because we have gone through so many Vedanta classes, we say, no, it's inside me. But still, for the general public, it matters, right? The environment matters. Sneha said contentment. When is she content? Not all the time. Sneha's contentment depends on XYZ, if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong, isn't it?
You're right.
Yeah. So, according to the Taittiriya Upanishads, this Vishaya Sanyoga, Indriya Sanyoga depends on environmental factors and factors concerning me also. Like, to enjoy the world, there are so many parameters. I need to be young. See, we have a saying in Kannada, Hallidda kadle illa, kadle idda hallilla. When I'm young and I'm able to enjoy, probably I don't have the means to enjoy the world. When I do get the means to enjoy the world, I don't have the health or the youth or the interest to enjoy it. Isn't it? Now I have a car at my disposal, a driver at my disposal. I can go wherever I want. I can roam the world. I don't have a problem with money. I have a healthy bank balance, but I cannot go. Probably I have health issues. Probably I don't have interest. See, that's how the outer situation and everything changes. So once you have to be young, you have to be fit enough to enjoy the world. Then you should have unlimited money. I mean, you think of the highest you can get in this possible world. You imagine the highest which you can. Probably you are a prince of princess of a very wealthy nation, and you have servants at your command, and you have the freedom to do what you want, go. I mean, imagine that kind of unfettered freedom to do whatever you want, even to attend Vedanta class 24/7. That freedom also we don't have, right? We cannot be online all the time. Or so imagine that kind of unfettered wealth, freedom, youth, health, everything. That is the highest. If that is 100, if you value that as 100 in worldly terms, the Taittiriya Upanishad says That 100 for in worldly terms is 0.000001 of what bliss is all about. The Ananda that Upanishad, that Brahman is this is a fraction of a fraction of what the Ananda is, the bliss is all about. That is what the Taittiriya Upanishad says. Whatever we define in our terms as happiness is nothing compared to the bliss of Brahman. That is the definition of happiness in the Ananda Mimamsa. That is why the enlightened one is not at all concerned about the happiness of happiness that is associated with the mind, body, intellect, environment. Nothing of it comes to, is counted. It is not even taken into account. What I want, no. What is my happiness? No, nothing. It is just happiness per se is a value by itself. It is nothing to do with me or my mind or my situation or the environment or whatever. Just imagine that kind of happiness, which is totally up there, independent of everything. That is why the term here, which is a very phrase, which is very, very beautiful, is Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha, which means just being, reveling in my being. I'm just there. What else do I need? I am. Just shut our eyes and just 30 seconds you be there within the, with the feeling that I am, I exist. That's it. That is the reveling in my being. Without this feeling of I am doesn't need anything. Whether you're happy, unhappy, you're crying or you're laughing, you're with friends, you're sleeping. Sleeping means not deep sleep, less lying on the bed, relaxing, watching TV, whatever you're doing, cooking, whatever you're doing, just take 10 seconds to just close your eyes and just feel that feeling of that just existence. I exist. That's all. I exist. I am. That's it. That will never leave you. That's always there. So it doesn't need anything, any outside props. Whatever happens is happening on the screen of that I am. So when we connect more and more to that I am, I exist, I am awareness, I am Chit, I am Sat, that Ananda comes automatically. It's a package deal. The more and more we connect to the inner self, the bliss is always there. What the Ananda Mimamsa defines as bliss will always be there. That is what the God is saying. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. I just revel in my being. That's all. Nothing else is needed. So this one, this Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha is available for every being on earth, isn't it? It does not depend whether you're a prince or a pauper. Nothing. It's there, available all the time, 24/7 to every being on earth. That is the state of an enlightened one. That is what Krishna is saying here. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. I am delighting in my own being, and it is infinite and it is eternal. It doesn't end only. If you can sit with that I am feeling for hours together, it's there. So the next question is, can it be experienced? What do you think? That I am, when you shut your eyes and sit, yes, you can experience that. But can you revel? Can you just shut off like that from the world and be like that all the time? Chandra, you wanted to say something.
We can experience, ma, but we cannot express. That can be felt, what I think is.
That can be felt. You know
Felt.
what the expression of that happiness is? How the Sita Prajna walks and talks in the world. That is the expression of that happiness. When you are eternally connected with that bliss,
yes,
automatically the expression will also change. That is what
yes.
Krishna is saying. Shweta, you wanted to say something?
Oh, no, I'm good. Thank you. I was just thinking through it. That's all. I'm just thinking what you're saying. I'm pondering on it.
Yeah. So Atmanyeva Atmana tushtaha is how the enlightened one delights in his own being. That is why, have you seen our Prabhuji laugh? Always laughing, always in bliss.
He laughs like a child,
Child, that innocent laughter all the time. So that is why walking and talking and sitting and communicating with a master is very important. They are a walking, talking lesson in itself, right? So, but it doesn't mean that one should always be in bliss, or one should always be laughing or whatever. No, it is just that it's always there in the background, and when nothing else, no other transaction is happening, that comes forth automatically. So that is Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. So how do we get there is the next question. All this is fine, Baba. The Ananda Mimamsa is defining, that one unit of happiness, what I feel on earth in the body-mind complex, is nothing compared to the bliss. But how do we get there? So the next thing that Bhagavan is saying here is Prajahati Yada Kaman. One who discards all desires. Tall order. Does it feel like a tall order, people? Prajahati Yada Kaman. Every desire you discard. Yes, Neha?
Yes, for sure. It's a tall order.
Yeah. Does anyone think it is doable, or what is your opinion? Prajahati Yada Kaman. All Yada, when. Yada means when. Kaman, desires. Prajahati, discards. Is it possible in this life, people?
It's very difficult.
As long as I'm associated with my body, it's not possible. Yes, with my senses, I keep asking. I want to be happy. I want this. I want that. I want that.
Actually, with the body mind only, we should discard everything.
Mm. Don't discard the body, please,
No,
or the mind.
no,
We need it. Yeah. So now this is the crux here. Prajahati Yada Kaman. It is not as much as discarding desires, but what the Lord is saying, and what the interpreters or the Bhashyakaras say is their equanimity does not flicker with desires also. See, the desires cannot be dropped to that extent when you're in a body mind, like all of us here agree. But that going up and down will come down. It should come down. I need something, I don't get it, but it doesn't matter as much as it used to matter before. Is that too much? I mean, that's a baby step, no, we can take.
Yes,
right?
no, that can be possible.
That is what.
You will not get perturbed when you don't get something, like everyone was saying. I think Padmaja was saying she will have that contentment even if it happens, if it doesn't happen.
Correct.
That happiness is there, that contentment is there, and one doesn't get perturbed with the situations.
Yes, correct. So the desires are there, but if it doesn't materialize, or if it doesn't go the way you want it, like Padmaja and others have said, it doesn't, my mood will not swing too much. At least that much I will try to achieve. Maybe I cannot drop all the desires, fine. But let me keep that as a benchmark. The next step we can go, right? And then one more thing the God says here is, Prajahati Yada Kaman, Sarvan, all, all desires. It's not just, okay, like somebody has diabetes. Okay, today I have to attend a wedding. Let me have a little sweet. No, that kind of little, no, here there are no excuses to be made. Sarvan Kaman, every desire has to be dropped, is what the enlightened being state of mind is like that. Doesn't hang on even to a little small desire. Prajahati Yada Kaman, Sarvan, all the time, and no desire. For that, of course, we have very, very tall order. That is why we have the steps given in Vedanta of Shramana, Manana, Nididhyasana. It cannot be done in a day or just by a few classes. It has to be a continuous process of replacing the old vasanas with the new, isn't it? The old habit patterns have to be rewritten by the new habit patterns. Little steps, Shravana, listening to the truths, Manana, contemplating on it more and more and more and more, and Nididhyasana, try to get established in it with all our little daily actions. That is the way to go with these pleasures. So the thing is, it is good, it's okay to cut the branches, but they will sprout again. That is the thing. We have to root it out. Right now, what we are trying to do is, okay, I will, like people go to Kashi and say, okay, I will leave Mysore Pak because I like it. That is the kind of little sadhanas we try to do in our lives, isn't it? Okay, today I will not watch too much TV. I will exercise Indriya Nigraha. That is fine, but it'll sprout again because it's not uprooted. So for the Sthita Prajna, because we are talking of the status of a Sthita Prajna, these are uprooted completely. It's bare sahita kit bisak pudidarenta, a desires. What a wonder, just to imagine that state is so wonderful, right? Just to act spontaneously without any needs. Isn't that beautiful state? And we are getting to hear about it, which is itself so beautiful.
Yes, I agreed with that. Just the thought of,
Yeah.
totally uprooting my desire for sweets, that's disturbing me already. That itself shows that I'm not even ready for it, close to it.
Yeah.
Even I was about to tell about the sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. So there is one trick that Prabhuji has given in several talks, not directly related to this talk. How can I distance myself from the object and myself? Okay. How to uproot the desires like that? So you just ask yourself, how to give up is the question we all have. That's a basic fundamental question we all have. How to give up, isn't it? So Prabhuji says, ask yourself, is it mine to give up in the first place? Just think, just contemplate. Is it mine to give up? It's easy to give up something that you don't own. For example, I can see, okay, I donate the Taj Mahal to the government of India. I can say that it's not mine. So like that, you can apply that logic to everything that I think I own actually. Is the body mine? Is the body mine, Shweta? Is that body you have yours? If it is
No.
yours, tell me how. Show me the papers. Yeah.
Are you saying so discard the ownershipness? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty much.
Just
become a renter, right? We're all renters at the end of the day.
yeah, we're all renter. I didn't manufacture it. I don't have a
Right.
factory. I don't own
Yeah.
the raw material, the Panchabhutas I don't own. I don't have the intelligence to construct the body. The intelligence coming from the cosmos. Isn't it? I did not monitor my progress when I was in my mother's womb. My mother didn't either. She just went on with it. My father didn't know what the hell was happening. So none of the stakeholders here are involved in my being like this here now. Isn't it? If we can apply that logic to everything, how is it mine? So if my own body is not mine, how is anything other than outside me mine? How can it be mine? Isn't it? So that is why. So Guruji's favorite example, lift your hand. I lift my hand. Do you think you lifted your hand? Do you know how many nerves have to function for you to lift your hand? Do you know how much blood has to flow through your hand, for that little action to happen? Did you do it? Are you monitoring what's happening in your body, the involuntary actions, the voluntary actions? You're not in control. You think you are in control. Okay, fine. Maybe you're in control of your voluntary actions. What about the involuntary actions? Are you monitoring how much blood is being pumped from your heart to the portions of your body? Are you doing anything about it? How is the liver processing all the bad blood? How is the kidney processing all the bad things in whatever? I'm not in control of anything, nothing. Thank God. If I had given charge of the involuntary actions, finish. I'd be gone in half a second, isn't it? So if I go on thinking on those lines, I'll come to the conclusion that I am not in control of anything. So what can I give up? Nothing is mine. So that should be the state of mind. We have to come to that kind of a state of mind is what is Bhagavan is saying. That is how you can give up. If I give up if I uproot it, my body, mind, intellect is not mine. If that is uprooted, nothing else needs to be done. So for starters, we'll do this. How can it be mine? Nothing, I can own nothing. That's the only way we can go about that. So that is one. How is it mine? Did I create it? Am I in command? Am I in control of situations? No. Then who is? That's the next question. Then who is in command? Can you tell me who is doing it?
God.
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 If I'm an atheist, I don't believe in God.
A
It
higher
is the
power.
energy, ma.
Nature. For an atheist, it's nature, I think.
It's nature. It's nature. Prakrute kriyamanani. It will come later in the Gita. Everything is done by nature. It's not even doing, it's a spontaneous happening. Nature also is not sitting and thinking, oh, today 6 o'clock, the sun has to rise in this place at this time. No, it's a spontaneous happening. Let us just get that into our heads. First of all, number one, everything that I am, that the body, mind, even the mind is a subtle object. We know that now from Vedanta. It's a subtle object. It is also something apart from me, because if I can see the mind, it means it's not me. If I can see my hand, if I can see my laptop, it automatically means the laptop is not me, right? So anything outside of me is an object and it's not me. Likewise, the mind is also not me, because I can see my mind. I can see what thoughts are going on in my mind. I can feel my emotions. I can see the mood ups and downs of my mood. That means the mind is also apart from me. That's also an object. The intellect is also not me, because I can see the changes in my knowledge. Oh, last Vedanta class, I had understood this point. Today, I have understood this. So the knower is also changing in me. The BMI is apart from me. I am not the BMI. I am separate from BMI, isn't it? So everything is apart from me and I don't need anything. The real I that I am, that does not need anything. So there's nothing to be given up if I'm established in that truth. Until such time, ask, how is this me? How can this be me? Everything is apart from me. That is the logic one has to go on applying. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Every time a desire crops up. Who has got the desire? That is Ramana Maharshi's fundamental teaching. Ask, who is it that is getting the desire? Is it me? Me is who? Is it my mind? Is it my vasanas? If it is my mind and my vasanas and my habit patterns, then it's apart from me, it's not me. That's it. That kind of logic has to be applied. That is the only way to prajahati yada kaman sarvan. That is the only way to drop all desires, to realize that I am not the desires. And Prakriti is doing everything. I am not ownership. The ownership and doership has to be dropped completely only by the process of neti. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Because, and this understanding has to happen in the intellect only in understanding. It cannot be separated physically. It cannot be cut off. Only understanding. Nirmala, you're so late and we missed all your beautiful stories and inputs. What happened?
You know, the class is not as usual when Nirmala is not here.
Yeah, so salt was missing today.
Yeah.
In the food. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and she's not talking also. Chal. Yeah, we have. Yes, Nirmala, you're saying something? Okay. Prajahati yada kaman Sarvan Partham, Partha is Arjuna, Manogatan, whatever desires come to the mind, I am dropping everything. Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha Sthita Pragnasya Tad Uchyate. This is what the God has said. But does it mean that the enlightened one has no desires at all? We know the story of Sri Ramakrishna, right? Anyone knows the story of Sri Ramakrishna and the sugar candy?
He
So-
likes food very much. He's a foodie.
He's a foodie. Yeah.
And in between the what I have read, that in between the discourses also he will just go and inside and ask Shardama, what are you cooking? What are you cooking? You know, what is there and all that. And she used to say, there is this going on. And how can you come? What does your Shishyas, disciples think about you?
Yeah.
He's so fond of it. So he says, I am fond, and this is not holding me actually to this body.
Correct.
That when I don't ask, maybe you can say after 3 days of it, I am not here.
Correct. So there are two kinds of vasanas. According to what Prabhuji has said, there are two kinds of vasanas, bhoga vasana and bandha vasana. Okay, this is very important. Bandha vasana and bhoga vasana. Bandha vasana is what our kind of vasana is bandha vasana. Bandha means that with bonds, moha. My family, my child, my husband, my property, my car, my house, my happiness. That selfish vasanas that we have, they are called bandha vasanas because they bind us. They keep us. We come back again. Punarapi jananam, punarapi mananam, because of the bandha vasanas. Whereas the enlightened soul does not have the bandha vasanas because there is no ownership and there is no doership. But there are some vasanas because the person is in an embodied, form. There'll be some vasanas. Otherwise, like Ramakrishna said, if I don't have that vasana to eat sweets, the last tie that I have to the earth will be cut. I will go. That is why that is called a bhoga vasana, bhoga. So they'll just hold on to some vasanas that will make them be here and function for the welfare of the world, Jagat Hitaya. So that is bhoga vasana. That means enlightened fellow can enjoy a cup of coffee. He can go enjoy a movie. He can go. He might have a vasana to go roam the world. Do Jagat Hita is also a vasana. No, I want to reach my teachings to 2 billion people. I want to go establish ashrams in 100 countries. All those are vasanas, but they are bhoga vasanas. Number one. Number two, they were for Jagat Hitaya. Bhoga vasana is it's just there for them. It is just there as a surface, as a cloud. It doesn't matter to them at all. Okay, I like to have coffee, but if I don't get it today, never mind, no problem. I want to establish 100 ashrams, but not even one, no problem. Fine, it doesn't bother me. So that kind of detachment at every level, that is how a Sthita Prajna is. This is the first shloka of Bhagavan. Okay, Atmanyeva Atmana Tushtaha. Why? Because that fellow is happily just reveling in Nanpad. I'll be lying on a hammock and enjoying my own company. I'll be alone but not lonely. Can we be like that? I think most of us enjoy being by ourselves, no? By our thoughts, by ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. We should develop that muscle more and more.
I think we kind of get cranky if I don't get that time. Actually, I get very cranky.
Yes, exactly.
That's how we, a lot of people have different ways to re-energize themselves, right? But
yes. See, but again, that depends on the others should not be around me. I should have my own me time.
yeah.
Again, we are depending on the external circumstances for that kind of being with myself feeling. But then scratch the surface. I'm always with myself. With who else can I be? Just think. I have to be with myself only. That's it. Because I exist. No? Always there with me all the time. Right?
It's really wonderful, Purnima, the way you've given us this logic today, right? in such simple words, you gave, I mean, all these points, I can't even articulate it, whatever you said. It has really hit me hard.
If
Thank you.
if I am comfortable with myself, that's when I'm happy. Okay.
Yes.
When I'm not restless, when I'm comfortable with my own self, I'll be happy.
Yes. Correct. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I accept all my flaws also. Okay. If I'm angry with myself, that is only to improve myself and to get over those weaknesses that I think I have, but not, I look at that also as I look at another person. Don't take it so personally, as if you're telling your child, come on, you shouldn't be angry so much, you behave yourself. Like that, I tell to myself with that objectivity. That also has to come. No guilt trips, no blame game, none of it. So try to develop one step at a time. I'm sure we'll get there. And that's why we need to come back and go on listening to these truths again and again and again, and sit with the master and look at the way they behave. I was seriously hoping Nirmala ji would, share some stories with the master, but it's not happening. We'll do that, as we still have many, many shlokas to go in this series. So we'll do that. All right.
Series, is
Just,
it?
just one story to end the day. I love it. How Ramana Maharshi, okay, how he was so completely detached from everything that was happening around him. Once he got a letter from somebody scolding him, abusing the Maharshi, in bad language, in English. So one disciple came running to him saying that, Master, if somebody has written a very nasty letter about you, take. So Ramana started reading the letter, and he started correcting the English grammar mistakes. That was so detached he was about the whole thing. He just did not. But the disciple said, Master, it's about you. What me? It's about a fellow called Ramana. Who is that fellow? He is some BMI with some problems in life. So he is written about that guy. It's not me. That was how detached he was about everything. That's the Gnani, how the Gnani behaves. That sort of full, complete non-identification with the body mind called Ramana. So just to listen also, it's so thrilling. Let us see if we can implement just that 0.01% of this. It'll be so beautiful.
At least today.
At least for now. Yes. Yes, absolutely. All right, then let's meet next week. All right. Shall we close? 802.
Like to add Andarmukha Samaradhya Bahurmukha Sudurlabha, the verse in Lalita Sahasranama.
Correct. Antarmukha Samaradhya Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. That's the crux of the whole thing. Bahirmukha Sudurlabha. No, it's not possible to get that equanimity from the world. Antarmukha. When you go inside, you might probably find it. If I'm sincere, I'll find it. Correct, Vinaya, you said that. See, all our stotras, all our shlokas, everything, all the customs, rituals, even the prana pratisthapana that we do for the god during our ritualistic pujas. You know what we do? We put the idol out there, the Gauri or the Ganesha, we put out there, and I infuse my prana into that. It is coming from within only. Prana pratisthapana it is called, isn't it? Huh?
Mama pranaha, mama pranaha.
Pranaha, mama jivaha, Gauri jivaha, mama jivaha. That is from inside only, everything should come outside. That Gauri is part of me and she's just there out there in a name and form. So with God, we can accept that, it is my only, my prana, it is in that murti. It is the same. The enlightened one feels the same with every being, not just that idol out there, which cannot speak to you. It has no ego, so it doesn't talk back to you, so you can talk to God. But it's the same with every object in the entire world. It is everything is my prana. I'm infusing and seeing things. That's all. That is the
Purnima, if you don't mind, can you elaborate a bit on those series of shlokas that we chant during the Prana Pratishtapana?
yes. Jayashree, please remember myself. Prana Pratishtapana shloka. Wait.
Pustka beko.
Illa, one nimsha. I just
Once Purnima, she had posted on one of the WhatsApp or I don't remember. Maybe this was many years ago. I wish I had held on to it now.
Wait. We'll get it. Enappa. Science of consecration. Yeah. It's very beautiful. I am not able to recall immediately. Yeah, I will remember it and I'll post it. I will chant it and I'll post it on the group.
Yeah. Yes.
I will do that. Because each and every thing is very beautiful. Yutishtatu, pratishthapo bhava, sannihito bhava, sanniruddho bhava. All that we tell to the idol in front of us. Yeah. It is just me. I am projecting myself in that murti. And a step further, I am the one who is projecting the world. Imagine. It's all in my mind. Like how I went, when I go to sleep, who is projecting the dream? Is there any, some XYZ who is projecting the dream for me? I am myself, I'm projecting the dream. No.
Yes.
It's me who has taken all those shapes and forms in the dream. It's me who is the robber, who is the kidnapper, who is the fairy, everything in my dream. Everything is me only. In the waking dream also, the enlightened masters, they say, in the waking dream also, I'm projecting the entire world. It is very, very hard to wrap your mind on around, but that's the truth. Just think about it. Is there anything apart from me in the waking world also? If I'm not there, will any of it will be there? Where is all this when I'm in deep sleep? It's all gone. When I'm not there, the world, where is the world when I'm in coma? My world doesn't exist. The moment I wake up, I project the world. Isn't it? Very, very hard to wrap up my mind around it, but that's the truth. That's what Krishna says.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, but I just want to hear Nirmala say hello. What is this? All right, let's wrap it up for the day.
I think the class was much better without me.
Please, what are you saying?
Not
Nonsense.
Please.
Yes.
I do not agree.
None of
Why?
it, I'm sure.
What, Nirmala, please.
How beautifully you all spoke.
No, as Purnima ji said, salt was missing, Nirmala.
Tadka was not there.
Tadka is waste.
What do you mean waste? That is a taste maker. It's not that waste at all. Okay, at least
where will I get this recording of this class fully? I am
recording right as we speak. It is being recorded. Yeah.
And where would I get it? In the class?
Post it in the group.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
ಅಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಶಂಭೋರಾಜ್ಞೆಯ ಪ್ರವರ್ತಮಾನಸ್ಯ ಆದ್ಯ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ
ಅದಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಗೌರಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಗಣೇಶನ್ ಪೂಜೆ ವರಮಹಾಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕರೆಸ್ತೀರಾ ಪುರೋಹಿತರನ್ನ ಕರೆಸ್ತೀರಾ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಂತ್ರಾಕ್ಷತೆ ಹೂವ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಮುಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ದೇವ್ರನ್ನ ಕಳಶಾನ್ ಮುಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಮಂತ್ರಗಳು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಪ್ರಾಣನ ನೀ ಆ ಕಳಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಕಳಶಕ್ಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದೇನ ನೀರ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವೋ ತೆಂಗಿನಕಾಯಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಂತರ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಶೇಡ್ ಬೆಟರ್ ದೆನ್ ಅದರ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಇನಾನಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಶಿಯಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೋರ್ through our sense organs, the speech, touch, taste, manali, we are able to reflect, but the object in front of me is not able to reflect that, it's not able to express alva. So we infuse that prana into it. Infuse ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರು. Even in big temples, they do prana pratishtapana of the murtis. ಆ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ತಂದ್ ಕಲ್ ನಿಲ್ಸ್ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಶಿಲ್ಪಿ ಮನೆಯಿಂದ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಸ್ಕಲ್ಪ್ಚರ್ ತಂದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಗಣೇಶನ. ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಾಣ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾಪನಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌದೋ ಅಲ್ವೋ?
ಹೌದೌದು.
ಅದನ್ನ ಕಾನ್ಸಿಕ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಕಾನ್ಸಿಕ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ನಿತ್ಯ ಹಗಲು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಆರತಿ ಪೂಜೆ ಅದು ಇದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತೀರ್ಥ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಷ್ಟು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಹೈ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹಗಲು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಬಂದು ಜನಗಳು ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ದೀಪಗಳು ಹಚ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆರತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಗಂಟೆ ಹೊಡಿತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದೊಂದೇ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತೀರ್ಥ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋದು, ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಹೋಗೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಮನೇಲೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮನೇಲಿ 1000 ಅದರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್. ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜಗಳನೂ ಆಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಿದ್ರೆನೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೀ ಅದೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೈ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ನಿತ್ಯನೂ ಆ ಪುರೋಹಿತ ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ. ರಾತ್ರಿ ಮಲ್ಗಕ್ ಮುಂಚೆ ವಿಸರ್ಜನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಬೆಳಗಾಗಿದ್ದು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹಾಕ್ತಾನೆ. ಆತರ. So the energy will be very high. So I will share that prana pratisthapana mantra. ಅದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನನ್ನಿಂದಾನೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನನ್ನಿಂದಾನೆ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಯಾರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೋಪ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಯಾರಿಗ್ ಬ್ಲೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ? ನಾನೇ ಎಲ್ವೋನು. I have to be, I'm the one who's projecting the reality, and I'm the one to blame or curse or be happy or take pride or take ownership. Everything I have to do. That is one level. Next level, I am also not doing it. Nature is doing everything. Who am I? Ramana. Who am I ಅಂತ ಕೇಳೋದು. ಇದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ತೋಚತ್ತೋ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ, ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ.
ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ಶಿವನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಭವಂತು ಸುಖಿನಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಸಂತು ನಿರಾಮಯಾಃ, ಸರ್ವೇ ಭದ್ರಾಣಿ ಪಶ್ಯಂತು, ಮಾ ಕಶ್ಚಿತ್ ದುಃಖ ಭಾಗ್ ಭವೇತ್. ಅಸತೋ ಮಾ ಸದ್ಗಮಯ, ತಮಸೋ ಮಾ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಗಮಯ, ಮೃತ್ಯೋರ್ಮಾ ಅಮೃತಂ ಗಮಯ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಜೈ ಗುರು.
ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣಾರ್ಪಣಮಸ್ತು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಆಲ್.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಅಮ್ಮ, ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಅಮ್ಮ 7:30ಗೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮುಂಚೆನೆ?
7.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ